You're listening to the Natalie Parker Studio Podcast, episode number 18. In today's episode, we're discussing why you may be afraid to share your work. That's coming on up. Welcome to the Natalie Parker Studio Podcast, the podcast for women artists who are ready to pursue their creative dreams so that they can thrive both in life and in business. I'm your host, Natalie Parker, artist and mentor to women creatives around the globe. In this podcast, I'll share with you the strategies, principles, and mindset that you need to build a purposeful and fulfilling creative business. If you're ready to be inspired, encouraged, and equipped to build the art business of your dreams, then you're absolutely in the right place. Let's dive into today's episode. Well, hey there, artist, and welcome to the show. Whether you're new here or whether you're a returning artist, I give you a huge, warm welcome. I love that you show up weekly and that I get to give you some good, solid advice and encouragement to help you move forward in your creative journey. First up, I want to share with you this review that we have received on the podcast from Ginger Jacks, who's in the UK, who wrote, "Fantastic new podcast. Well done on the new potty, Nat. Binged on all 4 episodes while on the bus today and loving it so far. Inspiring me to get painting again after major confidence issues. Lots of practical information too. Can't wait to listen to the rest." And Jax, thank you so much for leaving that review. I love that, and I particularly love that it's given you that confidence to keep moving forward, because I know as artists we can all get hit, so I'm glad that I've been able to support you in that. Here's the thing, guys, your reviews, they mean not only, great for me to read them, but more importantly for our arty-farty friends who are out there who are looking for new cool art podcasts. Now, to help them find them, if you go and leave a review of the show, it's really super duper easy. You just go to ratethispodcast.com/Natalie Parker. I know I made it easy for you. You can even just follow the link below. Go and leave that review, and that's going to help people get to see this podcast more, right? Plus, it gives you the chance to get your review featured on this show. Another thing as well is if you have loved this show and you're like, Nat, this is really cool, I want to keep you fueled for doing all these podcasts for us, you can simply go and shout me a cup of coffee. And I've had some people go over and buy me a coffee. It's a really cool, fun way to sort of give back, keep me fueled up so that I can keep doing these awesome podcasts for you. And again, I'll pop a link below. Okie pokey, so on with the show. Now, today I want to have an open and honest conversation with you, as I do always anyway, right? About why you may be afraid to share your work. Look, I hear this a lot from the women artists I mentor, right? Whether that's in our painting community, the Confident Brush, or inside the art business program that we run. They're like, hey Nat, how do I get over this fear of sharing my work? How do I build up my confidence so I can share my work? And honestly, if I could bottle up confidence and sell it in a bottle, I would absolutely do that and give it to you, all right? But unfortunately, I can't. However, what I can do is to help you see why maybe you're afraid to share your work. Okay, we can unpack that, and then I can help you discover, flip the switch, why sharing your work is actually a beautiful thing. So, first of all, let's sort of unpack where this is coming from. What are some of the possible reasons why you may be afraid or timid or hesitant to share your work? The main one is you are afraid of being judged, right? You're worried that if you put your work out there, someone will say something nasty and it will upset you. Here's the thing, judgment, it's unavoidable. We judge each other all the time, whether we think we do or not. Right now, you may be judging me, judging this podcast, counting how many times I get my words muddled up, as I do a lot lately. I don't know where this is coming from, but it started to happen. It's unavoidable. But if I was like, oh, I can't do this podcast because I'm afraid, I'm going to get 1 or 2 words muddled up and someone's going to write a really bad review and tell me I shouldn't be doing this podcast, how many people are going to miss out on the amazing content inside here? So if we're afraid to share because we feel we're going to be judged, we have to kind of switch our focus off that 1 or 2 people who may say something horrible to the 95 and 98% of people who are backing and supporting you. Judgment's unavoidable. You judge, I judge, we all judge. But what is important is getting your work out into the world. The second reason you may be afraid to share your work is that you're afraid other artists will call you out and accuse you of stealing their ideas. Now, this has happened. It does happen often. And honestly, it makes my blood boil. Because here's the thing. When you're a new artist, when apprentice artists have learned decades, hundreds of years ago, how did they start to learn the techniques? They started to mimic their masters. They started to mimic other artists and other styles as a way of learning and defining their own style. Now, if you are blankly copying someone else's, all right, and posting it off as your own work, that's a little bit of a different thing here. But as artists, when I see people go through my programs, when they go through my abstract florals with the confident brush, they'll share work and I can see, yes, it's similar to mine because they're in the learning process and I understand that and that's okay with me. Okay, so you may be in that position. Number 3, you may be afraid to share your work because you don't feel it's good enough. If you're in that position, go back and listen to episode 14 where I cover that because that is a biggie. And number 4, which is really what I want to unpack today, is you don't think, you're not sharing your work because you don't yet think that you have a well-defined art style yet. So you hold back from sharing until you land on whatever this art style is that you envisage in your mind. Now, at the root of all of these reasons, excuses, thoughts, beliefs, is your lack of confidence in your own style. Look, I hear this over and over. People are like, nah, I can't share my work. I'm just learning. Or I'm worried it looks so much like so-and-so's artist. Or I can't share my work now because, I've got too many styles. I'm working in different subject matter. Or I can't sell my work yet because I haven't yet arrived at this destination and found my own style. So what happens is we keep pushing back that goalpost, right? Now look, I get it. You want to be seen as a legit artist, okay? And you believe in order to be viewed that way that you need a recognizable style, okay? Because you're worried that if you share your work and it's all over the place, you're going from one subject matter to the next, you're working with different media, that it's going to look chaotic and unprofessional and people aren't going to take you seriously. But here's the common factor that you're not seeing in your work. The main thing that is linking your work together that gives you a style is you. You already have a style. You are a style. Your personality, your experience, your life adventures, your interpretation of the world, they are all unique to you, just like your fingerprint. Your style, it's more than a visual aesthetic, okay? It's more than those pretty pictures that we post on our Facebook or our Instagrams. Your style is the essence of who you are. You are the link between your works, regardless of the subject matter or media that you may work with or switch between. Is discovering your style simply a pursuit of having a clearly recognizable aesthetic across all your works? Or is it a journey of self-discovery? One that develops and refines itself as you grow and discover more of who you are. Now, I would argue it's the latter. My aim as a mentor to you is to help you unlock what is within you. I want you to see your greatness, to see the talent you have, and to help you refine it so that you can serve it to the world. Look, I get it, right? You want to be proud of your work and what you're sharing, and that's great. But honestly, are you producing the best work right now for the season that you are in? And I would argue that you are. The fact that you care what others think about your work, hence why you may be afraid to share and listening to this podcast, shows me that you value what you do and you want to present your best. But here's the flip side of that coin. You already have a gift. You already have a talent. Your creativity isn't solely for you alone. It's given to you to create the work you were born to create so that others can benefit from it. When you pull back, when you put all these limits, when you say it's not good enough, I can't share it, I don't yet have a style, you are holding back from blessing other people. What you need is help. You need someone like me or a community to help you discover what is already within you, to help you see those connections visually as well as through your life experience that already exist. Because when you're so attached to your work, you often can't see those. And I've been able to help over 2,000 women artists who've been through my Find Your Painting Style training series see those links in their work through this process. And this is exactly why from March the 14th to the 18th, I'm going to be hosting this series. It's a live 5-part workshop series to help you find your painting style. Okay, I'm going to show you how to discover it. Okay, I'll show you how to develop it, and I'll show you how to refine your style so that you can share your work with confidence and no longer be afraid and holding it back. I don't want your work to stay in your studio in the shadows any longer. Now I'm going to teach you, I'm methodical and practical. I'll give you a 5-step process that I've taught to thousands of students, both in my decade of teaching my secondary school art and design students, and in the last 3 years that I've been working with women artists online. Now this process is one that I personally use also to refine my own style as I work as a professional artist here in my home studio in Melbourne, Australia. And now I want to share it with you. Why? Because like I mentioned before, I am seeing far too many talented women artists holding back from sharing their work because they feel they don't have a style. They're holding back from life. They're holding back from the goodness that they have. Now, with this workshop, when you join us for this workshop, it's only $10. You get to walk away with that 5-step process. Okay, you'll get a workbook. It's going to show you the 5 steps you can take. You'll know exactly how to discover. You'll look at the inspiration. You'll look at artist models. You'll know how you can use that and tweak it in your work. And you'll come away with the actual practical plan of what you can take into your studio to help move your style forward. Because I know right now, if you're in the passionate artist season, you're spiraling from idea to idea. You're not too sure. Like, you may be working in different medias, you may be working in acrylics, watercolors, flipping from one to the other. You're not too sure what you really want to explore. So I'm going to give you that clarity. Another bonus is that you get to keep all these recordings. So you can go back to them, re-listen to them, and you get that workbook. Now, we are offering it as an early bird bonus right now. So when you join us before the 11th of March, depending on when you're listening to this recording, you can grab that early bird registration fee. Told you I get my words marked up. For only $10. All right. After that, your price will increase to $37. Okay. So get in before that. Now you get to walk away with that process. Okay. For less than the price of, a fast food meal, or in my case, $10 is probably like my coffee and my cookie that I'm buying myself far too often lately. But I really want to help you. I want you to not be afraid to share your work. And I know that if I can help you see what already exists within your style, and if I can also give you a plan and a strategy to help refine that and give you more confidence in your studio, then I have done my job to help you move forward. Okay, and that's what it's all about. Alrighty, lovely. Well, that is a wrap for today's episode. If you've loved this, I would love if you'd do me a favor, tag it, share it, head it over, tag me in at Nellie Parker Studio, and I can share that post for you. I will be back here next Monday, which will be the 14th actually, so it'll be the first day of the workshop, to help give you another fab episode to encourage, inspire, and equip you to build that art business of your dreams. Until then, lovely, I will see you soon. Have a fab day.